Welcome in to Training Ground Dispatch here on the SDH Network, presented by Kaiser Permanente. I'm Madison Cruz. Joined with me is one of the voices of Atlanta United in Jason Longshore. Double match week is in full swing as we all came back from Austin. I came back yesterday. You came back after the match there, but a hectic week, crazy week, and it's not stopping anytime soon because Atlanta United's got a matchup tomorrow at Mercedes-Benz Stadium against the Philadelphia Union, a team that they have seen very recently and trying to go in and get over them and get 3 points on Saturday.
Yeah, look, the poor performance in Chester not that long ago is going to be fuel for this one to get a little bit of revenge. And I think you're coming back into this with some momentum. You come back and get a point in Austin. It's a nice, well-worked goal at the end, and you saw that out. You didn't get the point and then lose it like what happened in Chicago. So it's a step in the right direction. I'm going to be really curious to see where the fitness levels are because this is game 3. Game 2, it's already a question mark. Game 3, it's a bigger question mark. It does look like you're going to get Brooksland and Pedro Amador back. They were training today. Ronny Deila said that they would be available for selection. Are they 90 minutes fit? Are they 60 minutes fit? Are they 45 minutes fit? 30? We don't know. We're going to find out all together tomorrow. But you get some reinforcements. You get Jamal Tiare in a good spot of form after his goal. You get Saba Lobjanidze in a good spot of form after his assist. Miguel Almiron creates a chance there too. So you get a little bit of individual momentum to go with the team momentum.
And I think especially looking at that performance on Austin on Wednesday, it's a great team performance and a great comeback performance. And I think that can help build momentum, especially going up against Philadelphia, because you go down a goal into the second half, then you're able to come back and fight your way up until the very end to try and create something to get the 1 point on the road. And also, by the way, crazy conditions as well, as you'll hear Saba Lobjanidze talk a little bit about it, but it's a very difficult place to play, especially with the heat. Had a heat advisory, you had the wind going in, especially the way Q2 Stadium is built too. You were dealing with all those elements as well.
Yeah, I think it was a good emotional performance, maybe not a good soccer performance, but you get the point out of it, and that gives you some momentum. You didn't fold after conceding in tough conditions. That gives you something to build around. And right now, you're looking for things to build around. That's what happens when you're in a bit of a bad run of form of results. You have to find something to rally around. Getting this point gives you something to rally around. Now you got to come back and do it again and get 3 at home, because the amount of home games, look, it's dissipating as the season goes on. You've got to make up for some drop points at home as you go. More than anything, I think you've got to play a little bit better and honestly just play a little bit more. We asked Ronny Deila about that, and we asked Saba Lobjanidze about Austin, all kinds of different things. Here's our conversation with both. When it's a hot game and it's difficult and it's a slog.
Yeah, honestly, I especially in Austin, I did so many sprints on the bench because I knew it. Go inside in this game, it's really hard, and really hard to breathe, so like that's why I was warming up like really hard, so it was kind of good,
Playing a team like Philly, they're going to be direct, they're going to press.
Yeah.
What are the important things for you guys to have success?
I think Philly is a tough team, and we have to be tough also. They are physically good, they are running, and we have to be like same as they are, like win more, and I'm pretty sure we have a quality for the win.
Coaches like this help build momentum. You saw a great performance, especially in Austin. How can you build and get the momentum going, especially on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, Philly is a top team, and we have to be also tough, and mentally we have to be ready, and I think that's why I said it was a good point, because we coming back, we were losing the game also in Austin, so we did the job, in last minutes, and now it's good time to continue like that,
As a player, do you like these kind of weeks where it's more games than training sessions?
Oh yeah. I mean, I prefer to play more games than training.
How hard is it physically to have that?
It's hard. It's really hard, but also you cannot excuses, because Philly also played the same day, and now they have to travel, so like that. So it's not easy for them also.
So I know you want the back line to step higher.
Yeah.
The attackers need to step higher and press a little bit more too for them to get up. But do you think if that happens, the team will be able to keep the ball a little bit more?
I think that is, if you have to start every time with a 5-meter or a throw-in, then it's more difficult to play. So to win the ball higher from the pitch, and I think we did that well against Nashville. Then we were high, we were aggressive, we won the ball in good situation, and then we were not accurate enough in the last third of the pitch. Then we can talk about Manu or Miggy or Alex or Saba, whoever is up there. So then it's about how they can create more. But when the ball is not coming up there, then it's more about how the team can get the ball. So you get the ball up in two things. One, you need to win the ball higher up in the pitch. You have to be aggressive. You have to press as a team. I think we did that well now in against Austin. But we win the ball too low. So now we are home. We have to try to get a little bit higher and win the ball higher. They are a very direct team, so it's going to be a lot of first and second balls. And then it's about how we play. And then we need to play quicker, and we need to want the ball, and we need to have opposite movements and switching or playing. That's the things we are talking about a lot, and I think when we have best period, you see a lot of those things.
I want to ask about Matt Edwards. We've seen him throughout the last couple of games really step into those roles and make an impact. How have you seen his growth from preseason and then in that match we saw on Austin?
I think he's grown a lot. I think he gets stronger and stronger. His big quality is his speed and his strength. That is his. So he's a very good 1v1 defender, and I think he has developed himself on the ball also. And if we can get even more, if we play fullback, then he has to have more attacking wise. Centre back is about his first touch and his deliveries. His aerial play, I think these things you can improve. But he's now played himself to be an important part of our squad, and that's very good.
Against a team like Philly that's going to step high press, they're going to play direct. How brave do you want your back line to be in building out of the back?
So I think you need to play. But it's about when you win the ball, what you do with it. If you play slow and backwards, then you know we're going to add pressure on yourself, and then you're going to end up with kicking long, and you get everything over you. So it's about when you're winning it, dare to be brave, play forward, play inside, switch play, and move them, because that is their weakness also when they jump as they do. So I have a good feeling. I'm looking forward to the game now. I think it's some improvement. I think we have changed with injuries, with system, with different things. And now I feel we find the ground to grow again. I think I have a feeling of we are in the right pathway now.
That's one of the ways that we know Atlanta United wants to play. They want to play with a high line, and they want to push players forward, especially starting with the back line. I really liked your question to Ronny Deila, talking more about what he expects from the back line and how they want to execute that going forward.
Yeah, it's more interconnected than I think we give it credit. It's not just about the back line stepping higher, because if they step higher and the attacking group isn't stepping higher, then you're just condensed in the middle of the field, and a team can pop a ball over top and get in behind. Philadelphia loves to do that, by the way. So if your front line steps higher, then your back line can step higher. If your front line doesn't step up and press, if they start to drop off, your back line's kind of stuck, and they have to drop because of that long ball over the top. So that part's interconnected. Possession is connected to that as well, and we talked about this a lot last night during the Georgia High School State Championships. When you see a team that's under a lot of pressure, a lot of direct play like Philadelphia is going to do, where you get pinned back, a lot of times your first response when you're under that defensive pressure and you're getting pinned, you get the ball, it's not to keep it, it's to get the thing out of there. And we've seen that with Atlanta United, I think, too often. And this is a team that wants to play. But when you start to get pinned because you can't step out high and press, and the back line has to drop, and you're under that pressure, your initial reaction is to clear rather than play. Ronny Deila wants this team to play. And I think we've seen good success against Philadelphia Union with teams that are brave enough to play. But it's all interconnected. It's not three separate things. The front line has to step higher to press. The back line has to step higher to follow them. And then when you win the ball, okay, pick your spots. If it's on to go, go. If it's not, keep it. But you've got to have all that connectivity happening for this team. And it hasn't happened enough throughout 90 minutes in each match.
And Saba Lobjanidze talked about it too. Because it's a double match week, you're also dealing with Philadelphia, who is coming off of that 3-2 victory against the LA Galaxy. But it was a hard one because LA Galaxy started off with a 2-0 lead, and then you had Philadelphia clawing their way back into this one very, very late to get the winner. Now they have to come on the road to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. There's going to be an interesting feel, especially with how they manage those players, how they manage those minutes, as also too with Atlanta United. It's going to be a big chess match on Saturday at the Benz.
Yeah, Philadelphia emptied the tank to come back into that game, so can they replenish? And they got to travel. They're coming down here today. That's difficult. So what are they going to have in the tank? Atlanta should get some momentum being back at home, sleeping in their own bed. That's going to help, but it all comes down to how you handle Philadelphia's press, how you handle their direct play. Can you win the second ball? Can you win the ball higher? And more than anything, can you beat their press? Make them break. Because what we've seen with Philadelphia over the years, when you start to play through their press consistently, it messes with them. They get scared, then they drop off, then they don't play the way that they play. You can take advantage, but you have to be brave with the ball, but it all has to stay connected.
It'll be a great chess matchup against the Philadelphia Union this Saturday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That match is going to start at 7:30 p.m. Myself and Abe Gordon. We will have the pregame show on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app starting at 6:30 p.m. And then we'll toss it over to Mike Conti and Jason Longshore at around 7:40 for the match. And then also make sure you stay tuned on the SDH Network. We're going to have a lot of fun content coming out on Saturday with a couple of interesting faces, some special guests you might see, you might not. We're going to leave it there. That way we don't spoil anything with the content that we have going on. Make sure you have a notification set for everything with the SDH Network on Instagram, on Twitter, Blue Sky, X, and on YouTube, because so much is coming in such little time.